Hello there! Welcome to JonnyBuildz. I am your host, of course, Johnny, and with me tonight, as it's been for the last 7 nights, now the 8th night, is Marcella and Krista from Season 5 of Lego Masters. Hi, girls. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, how about you?
Good. Let me double check your sounds on this. Go ahead and talk, Krista, real quick. I want to make sure it's coming through the stream part good.
Hello, Internet.
There we go. I gotta up it a little bit. Go ahead, Marcella. You talk too, please.
How is the internet doing this evening?
There we go. I got both of them. I boosted you guys up a little bit. All right. How's the storms? How's the weather? I know for us, we've been having some rocky weather right now.
Oh, it's thundering away.
It's electrifying.
Yes.
100%.
Here all week, folks.
All week. Oh, jeez. So, last week we had an interesting, and I thought it was a very good Lego Masters episode with episode 7, and now we're on to the 90s with the one-to-one recreation of something in Will's bedroom, which I found very, very interesting. How do you think, so out of those choices, out of everything that was in the room, and I am assuming you would not have taken the bed, but like, what would you guys have picked, do you think, to do a one-to-one recreation?
That's interesting. I'm not sure. I have never myself built one-to-one. So I'm not sure what we would have picked. Maybe the locker?
The locker.
I thought about that. But
Except
I
it's
really
boxy, so I'm not sure.
So my initial instinct was to say the TV.
Okay.
But then I had to actually go back and rewatch season 4. The team that went home was because of a TV. So I was like, ooh, good thing I didn't pick that. But then I was like really drawn to the, what was it? The Apple computer. Was it? And it wasn't a Mac. What? You know what I'm talking about? The colorful one?
Yeah.
Oh, it was an iMac.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones
I was
that's
really
like
drawn to that. But again, the screen. You know. So
Well, then I had a second idea, and it would have probably still got us sent home because it would have taken forever, but it would have been a first for Lego Masters, I think. And if we could have pulled it off, it would have been amazing. And that would have been the one-to-one Jason Bateman poster.
I thought about that too.
My wife said the same thing. She was like, "Is someone going to do the Jason Bateman poster?"
Yeah, either a full-on mosaic, out of dots, or I just saw lightning behind you.
Yep. It's coming for you.
Or to do, possibly like a Greeble style mosaic would have been kind of neat, but that would have stood out a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some mosaics that are intense at Brick Rodeo. You can't even tell that they're from far away.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They're even posters.
Yeah, I would have loved to have done the mosaic. That would have been, as I'm sitting here doing mosaics now.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Like possibly even the Canadian flag. Like I forgot that.
I thought
Will
about
was
that
also
too.
Canadian.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like.
Oh, you know, it'd be really cool. And I honestly, I don't even know if they have this in that part color, but that piece that Tim uses a lot, that 1x2 tile, but it's rounded, and he uses it to kind of make the wavy shapes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool for the flag.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
They
The bed was just too ambitious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like the like looking at the choices that people made, like you got to look at like how Lego is, Lego's good at blocky type things. So, but
Right.
even still, at the same time, you look at something like the amplifier. I'm sure they looked at that. I mean, again, it was, to Joe, that was like, ooh, that's really cool because I'm band director, amplifier, that kind of thing. But at the same time, you look at that a little closer, and it's not just blocky. There's a lot of detail to it. There's little things on the little metal, things on the corners and stuff like that aren't quite square. Oh, there's lots of lightning for you. Mm-hmm. Krista's suddenly going to go boop. But yeah,
If I disappear, you know why.
yeah. But yeah, so you got to be careful. But then you look at some of the choices too, and well, let's start with Ben and Michael. Very first thing, they are like, "Ooh, we need to do the guitar, the electric guitar," and very ambitious because lots of curves, and to make that look rounded, not just the sides of the shape of it, but also like the front of it has to be rounded. It can't, it has to
Right.
kind of blend into the rest, and that's not an
Right.
easy thing to do.
And it's got to be
Yeah, I think
smooth.
they were really reluctant about that, but didn't feel that there was anything else that like fit their wheelhouse. Because they were among the last to pick, right?
I think so.
Were they one of the last? Were they the last? Yeah, but I mean, they did have a lot of choices, as you said. There were a bunch of other things that were. I mean, like anything could be picked. Obviously, the bed was apparently picked, and you
I
could.
cracked up though. Half those people didn't know what the 90s were.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, you're right. Absolutely, and we've all been through them. So.
I knew right away that Sage and Ian were going to be amazing. I mean, this is what Ian does, so I was not concerned. As soon as he picked up that keyboard, I was like, they're going to do this keyboard. He's not letting that go. Sage kept kind of leading him around the room. I was like, no, they're going with that keyboard.
And
I was a little shocked by how Corey fell.
oh yeah,
into
right there at the
room.
beginning, because he was so into like, I need that skateboard. He didn't want anyone else to touch it, and just whoop.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is I know that Luke always likes to go big, and he still could have gone big, but he could have done that big blue hand, and I think they could have actually pulled that off.
Oh yeah.
Rather than that bed. The bed was too big. Too big.
I think if they had the weight distribution a little bit better on it, he might have pulled that off.
I think they would have
Headboard was great.
I think they would have had a better chance. We talked about this after the episode, and we're going right to the bed, because the bed is the controversial thing. It is the big, like elephant in the room. The bed, like, at least whenever, from what I remember looking at it, whenever they first got to it, like, they took off like that comforter, and like, it's like, well, if they're not including the comforter, see how much that comforter covers, and then focus on your frame, because you don't have to put anything under the comforter. It can be bare. It doesn't have to be sheets or anything. You can just do this edge of the sheets that the comforter doesn't cover over the edge. They did a fantastic job on that back railing, that back, whatever it's called, the railing, whatever.
The headboard. Yeah.
I mean, it looked really, really good. I mean, and the rest of it, I really think they could have pulled it off if they adjusted their approach to it.
Yeah.
It's ambitious nonetheless.
It was very ambitious, and it is 8 after the hour, because that's my clock going off. So yeah, definitely, yeah, it's always off. No matter what, we reset it, we get it fixed, and then it just gets behind.
That's funny. The one thing I wish they would have done differently for this episode was, and I don't know if it's just me, but I have a feeling that not a lot of people know what one-to-one really is.
Correct.
So I wish they would have gone a little more in depth on what they were doing, how they were building it, the rationale around it.
They focused on it a little bit, especially with Ben and Michael's, because as you could see, as they're matching it up. They had the guitar down and they're matching it up with it, and they're like, this is not working, like, we're not getting our curves right and everything. So from there, but again, you're right, it still wasn't explained as to, like, well, this has to be, like, they're looking for exact, this has to look very, like not like Lego. That's the idea of it.
Right. And there's a moment with Anthony and Joe where Joe gets the stud math wrong, and that was a perfect moment for them to do a little cutaway on what stud math is.
Oh yeah.
Just to help little builders that are watching and have no idea what he's talking about. We know what he's talking about, but not everybody does. Your casual viewer doesn't know.
Right.
So I just miss those little moments that they used to do.
Mm.
It's funny you said that because I went back and I rewatched season 4's 1-to-1, and there at one point, I believe it's Emily talks about nice parts usage.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it was just a real quick talking head, like they did the interview thing, and she was talking about the clarinet, and she was like, yeah, and we have good NPU, which is nice parts usage, which is when, like, it was like
Yeah.
10-second explanation, but that's all it needed to be.
Right. I
Yeah,
miss
those-
those moments.
Well, I was gonna say those kind of moments seem to be I mean, like even whenever, like I think it was in episode 2 or something, someone was like, "Oh, we got to get our snot technique going with," and I can't remember who it was that said it, and I was like, "Well, that's something that could have easily just been like, well, snot stands for this, and this is how it works,
Right.
you know, and why it's used the way it is." I recall seeing it like even because I did not watch season 4, but seeing it in season 1 and 2 where they're like, hey, these are building techniques. These are what is used by people that are trying to do these big giant creations and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a missed opportunity there. So Ben and
Agree.
Michael, they do recover though. I mean, like I mean, I don't think they took it theirs all apart. Anthony and Joe did, which they seem to like to do. They like to just be like, no, this is not good. Start over. But they kind of, and you could see the frustration on Ben, like in the one clip. He's just like this is awful. This is bad. We need to do. And I was surprised because I figured Michael would be the one that would be like. He seems to be the one that would be like more like high strung, I guess. He's like way more energetic, or so to speak, but it was opposite. And he's like, calm down, dude. We could do this. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's funny about this episode, timing wise, if a little behind the scenes secret,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's going to wonder why, after watching season 4, did Anne and Luke go for the bed?
Right.
Since Johnny didn't see season 4, explain the Sam.
Yeah.
in the
So
apartment.
in the Is It Brick in season 4, it's, what were their names? Sam
and why am I spacing
his
her name?
mom. Yeah,
Sam
I
and his
forget
mom.
her name. Yeah, Sam and his mom. They decided to do an area rug.
Oh yeah. They showed that little clip in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 9x12.
So-
Yeah.
That's insane.
Huge. They were kind of talked into. People say they were kind of coerced into it by Duck Bricks, by Christopher. He kind of manipulated things a bit.
Interesting.
But everybody came together and tried to, help them complete the goal, which was amazing. And so people are like, well, why would Anne and Luke go for something so big, so ambitious after watching what happened with that rug? Well, it hadn't happened yet while we were filming this.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Yeah.
They apparently filmed, we were gone, I think, by this time, but they had filmed on a Monday, and that episode aired that Thursday.
so if we were like, no, let's push the production back by a week, they'd been fine.
Yep.
Interesting.
But knowing Luke, he probably still would have gone big. He still would have been ambitious, and
Yeah.
it would have been fine.
I do give kudos for that ambition. That's for sure.
I-
it more. I mean, for like if again, like we look at the timing too that they've had this season, and like if they had done it, like if they had maybe 12 hours, I could kind of more see it. I guess 10 hours just seems. I don't know. It just seems like again. You got your planning, you got your piece getting, you got your adjustments that you're going to have to go through because you're not going to get it perfect the first time. It's
Right.
there's just a whole slew of things going on that but again,
How
kudos
many
to them.
How many bricks did they say they laid down?
Oh
Can't
gosh,
remember.
it was
But on
it
the
was
time
10,000.
thing, on the
10,000
time
in
thing,
10
that was
hours.
the same as last season.
Yeah.
Oh, was
Season
it?
four also had 10
yeah.
hours.
They also so
Yeah.
finally comparison, but still, what they managed to do was impressive. And one thing that kind of irked me a little bit was the judges' constant harping on Corey and Rebecca's skateboard being small
Mm.
and being the smallest in the room. While I agree it was a small build, it had some techniques that were incredibly difficult. And it had parts that needed, rounding and shaping and wheels and the
Yeah.
checkerboard pattern. There was a lot to that skateboard.
The
So I disagreed with them on that.
the only thing I think they were missing in their skateboard was the edges. Like, you could definitely tell that was brick built. The rest of it, though, as far as like the curvature itself of the skateboard and things, and I even pointed this out. I was like, they have there was a little white dot that was on the skateboard that they actually put in their skateboard too, and I was like, they did all the detail things. They just didn't do the refinement kind of things that like.
Yeah.
And really, just looking at it, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, they could have just had a curve with an angle, and that would have covered over that a little bit, and it would have been a ton better. But it was very noticeable.
Yeah.
And that's assuming that part was in the brick pit too.
True.
Right.
True. Yeah. I really think the way the judges said that, though, it was kind of like they're small works, and I get like just like the big works for for Luke, they've been able to use it many times. That's their ambition, and they were able to use with the smaller stuff. They were able to focus on those details and things a little bit better. And again, that's their wheelhouse. They do want you to grow and stuff, but like, I don't know. I would think for a challenge like this, where it's that's Big Thunder. When it's a challenge like this, where it's like you have to be very exact, you really do need to do like what is in your wheelhouse, because that's where you're comfortable and where you can shine the most as far as that goes. And I get the judges wanting to push you, but in this kind of a thing, I kind of think you don't want that.
Yeah, so not to like compare too much to season 4, but since it is an identical challenge from a previous season, the judges in the season 4 did call out the small builds.
Okay.
But they called them out in a way like that you couldn't hide imperfections as easily. So they said, when it's as small, one little mistake or one thing that doesn't line up just right or look just right is going to look a lot bigger than on a larger build. It may just look awkward. Like it's not going to have the same level. So I kind of appreciated that approach a little bit better than, and you're right, Marcella, they did call out that Corey and Rebecca out a few times for it being the smallest item, but what else would you have done? Like, even if you picked that lava lamp's about the same size as the skateboard,
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, so what defines small? It's not like they picked up just one of the controllers. They just happened to pick up things that were smaller than everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the lava lamp.
That would have been cool. Is the Atari would have been kind of neat to do.
I'm glad you mentioned the lava lamp, though, because that's what I would have chosen. I think it would be cool to add a little motion, and then you just have like a little ball go loop, and just like going past each other, and there you go. I thought that would have been
10 hours. Are you crazy?
Oh, I think I could have done it. I mean, I got the Hoth walls back and forth automatically within that time, so yeah. All right, so we've gone through the bed. We talked about Ben and Mike, and actually, you bring up with talking about the imperfections with the smaller things, like the guitar wasn't that small, and actually, it's not. It was probably almost the same size as if you think about it, it was almost the same size as the skateboard. Skateboards aren't small; they're a good size because you have to stand on them. The guitar would have been thicker, but maybe a little bit longer. But it was, I think detail-wise, the guitar was it was good, but you could definitely see the imperfections around the edge. Had Corey and Rebecca cleaned up that edge a little bit, I think they would have beat out Ben and Michael at that point.
Yeah.
So Anthony and Joe got an amplifier, and I think their big focus, and rightfully so because you see it the most, was the front because of the grill because it's shiny, but they also added imperfections in there and variations, which was good. But one thing the judges focused on was that their edges were a little bit rough. You could see like those kind of inconsistencies along the edges. I thought it was kind of an interesting choice too, because an amplifier, like you think about, you know, yeah, it's kind of blocky and stuff. But if you actually look at the texturing of like what those are made out of, the textures on the outside, like it's not smooth. It's very kind of, you know, grippy and stuff on most amplifiers.
Right. It still looked, even from the trailer, it looks like an amplifier.
It did.
From
it
far
did.
away. Like it's one of my favorites. One of my top 3 for sure. Especially that grill. That grill was impressive.
Yeah, it was.
I hope no one else needed grill pieces that episode, because I think they used them all.
Yeah, they probably used them all.
Well, I like that they did two-tone as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, added a little life to it, because it wasn't perfect, which, you know, no object is. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, the knobs look pretty good. I mean, like, you didn't see much with that, but like the knobs on the top look pretty good. I don't know if they spun or anything like that, but they look pretty good too. But they didn't show the back really, and like that was one thing they talked about too. They're like, "Oh, I got to finish the back. I got to finish the inside, because that's where like the speaker portion is and stuff." You didn't really see that much.
No, you don't. But even like the lettering that, I don't know who did it, if it was Anthony or Joe, but like the lettering, the little lettering that they did for the brand, that was just very impressive.
Yes, I agree.
I'm watching Ann and Luke try to put that second piece of sheeting down right now.
Oh, are you kind of reviewing it? the don't.
Stop touching it.
Yeah, I'm not. Stop touching it. Oh yeah, he was frustrated.
To be honest, though, I don't think Ann actually broke it.
I don't either. I think it fell from the weight of the sheet.
Yeah.
I think the weight of the sheet broke the frame.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think it was Ann.
The sheeting they used too, I think they could have done a lot lighter. Like they just did brick the whole way, and it's like that is going to be very heavy. They could have definitely done a little bit different. Again, if they had the pieces available, they could have. But yeah, that was what broke it. It was just too heavy. You could even see it sagging.
Yeah. I give them credit though for being able to keep their composure and not, you know, totally lose it.
Oh, but that's Ann and Luke though. Like,
what's that?
That's just their nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because again, it could be editing a little bit, but they're all like, you know, there's only 5 minutes left, and they actually fixed it enough, you know, at least somewhat. Like they were able to like, they're like, no, let's just keep going, let's do it, and yeah, that was really good.
It's very interesting the way they decide to edit the episodes together, because I just noticed that, like, they said there was only 5 minutes left, and then there's a shot of Corey and Rebecca's barely done skateboard.
Yep.
Like the frame is completely empty.
Yeah.
There's no way there's only 5 minutes left.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, I was noticing some of that too, and I'm like,
it's an interesting decision.
Mm-hmm.
I would be curious to speak to the editors on that.
Movie magic.
Can you imagine that Marcella comes out, hey, this isn't right.
Rob, like, you're like, what do you need today? I'm like, I just want to talk to your editors and find out why you do some of the things you do.
That would be great. So
Teach me your way.
Yeah. So then we get to the winners of the episode, Sage and Ian with the keyboard. Like you said, Krista, they weren't going to let that go. Or Marcella said that. I can't remember. One of you two said that. And it was
I have a
fantastic.
funny aside about that. So, in my basement right now is a PSR 19. The keyboard that they did was a PSR 6.
Oh, okay.
So I have a later version of that, and one of the builds that Ian says he did was a keytar.
Yep.
my keytar is also downstairs.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
It's awesome.
You're like,
Yeah, this
So
was
it's
a
like,
no-brainer. They were
Yeah.
absolutely gonna win. Like it
Oh,
looks like a keyboard, and it, like I said, it is his specialty. If you look at his Instagram, this is what he does.
right.
He is a realism builder. Like it's impressive. So there was no doubt in my mind. I would love to have seen more in-depth shots of how they made those keys and how they made the whole keyboard on a whole. It's just really cool.
Mhm.
And yeah, they deserve that win. I'm surprised this wasn't a golden brick challenge.
Well, probably because they're getting so close. I mean, like, next week's the semifinals, so I don't think they want you to have the golden brick for semifinals, because then you're just going to get into the finals anyway.
Hey, that's what happens.
Well, they had the golden brick twice, so, you know. Now,
Mama.
you know, had Luke and Ann kept it, that they would add it for this one. It'd be like, yeah, we're going to use it. Now,
Yeah.
so let's actually do that as a scenario. So let's say Luke and Ann had the golden brick. Theirs falls apart as it does. Now you're left with, you have your top two would be Sage and Ian and Ben and Michael. They were the top two. Then your bottom two are Anthony and Joe and Corey and Rebecca. That is an interesting bottom two. Who would you pick?
I would have.
Exactly. Both have their very good pluses. Both have a few minuses that aren't major things, but you know, it's what gets nitpicked the most.
I
think
think I would
for
have
me-
picked
oh, go ahead.
Corey and Rebecca.
Okay.
Just because they're on screen right now, and you're right. If they'd have finished off those edging and rounded it
Mhm.
out, those edgings out, because that's the part that sticks out the most. Those
Yep.
tiles just are very rough and jagged. So it
Yep.
would have come down that nitpicky of a thing for me.
Yep.
And I think I would have needed to see them from a 360 perspective
Yes.
to make a holistic judgment. Just because, yes, Will breaks them all and they all shatter very nicely, and that's all well and good. But, you know, we only see the front and maybe part of the side. Like, we don't get to see how the top looked. We don't get to see the back or the other side.
Right.
And Marcella, as you and I know, sometimes you can hide things in your build, and sometimes things are glaringly obvious. So I would have liked to see like better close-ups of everything from both builds, and then made a determination.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. And in fact, that's kind of one of my things about this whole season that I've kind of been disappointed at is like, well, that's cool from the, and again, they do that angle and they're like, hey, this is the whatever, you know, they give like the little title to it or whatever, and they start doing the little like rotating of it and stuff. But like, you don't see the whole build. You don't get that whole overall like, all right, what is actually contained within this.
And that's mostly because they tell you if it's a 360 build or not. And this one probably was not meant to be a 3. So the backs of those could be a total mess.
Well, I don't know. I guess it would be maybe not just a front-on build, but depending on how they had to place it in the way you picked it up.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because Corey makes a point of saying, don't pick it up by the tail, don't pick it up by the
Yeah,
tail.
right, yeah.
It fell apart. But like Sage and Ian's, he made a point of saying there are no studs showing on this build.
Yep.
And that's
was
what
flawless.
makes it look so real. It's beautiful.
Well, and they couldn't tell too when you know Mark made his choices. He like completely just glossed over it. Now again, he was a decent distance away, but that's kind of the point of it is like from a you know relative distance, what looks like Lego, what doesn't. And yeah, the that keyboard definitely. I mean, like now it actually was kind of hidden a little bit too, like where it was.
It
kind
was
of,
a little.
Yeah, just a little. It was kind of hidden a little bit in the corner stuff, and like you couldn't fully see
There's
it like
a
some of
shirt
the other than like the
that
guitar was
migrates over
right
it.
there.
Yeah. how it took him so long to see the bed, I have no idea. It was like his eyes just weren't focusing on it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I think it's the same thing with the rug. Like, you're just not thinking about
who's gonna pick that?
Like, you're thinking like, oh,
Right.
what little thing is jerking me up, not this giant thing in front of me.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that
also
was funny
think
that the bed was
possibly the
the second
stop
to last
sign.
one, or essentially the last one.
Oh yeah. In looking at the room, the stop sign also would have been a good one to attempt because it's a big size, but it would have been easy to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't even think about that one. Yeah.
But would you've gotten dinged because it was easy?
But it's big,
That's true.
and the object was to not.
Yep, it's all in how you it's all in how you manipulate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I do find it funny though too that like this is another episode where the one that breaks is the one that went home, whereas the previous episode, the one that broke did not go home. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. But still, like we said last week, the technical difficulty on that mask was a little higher than.
Oh yeah.
But again, the technical difficulty in the bed was a little bit higher than
Mhm.
the skateboard. So, but I don't know.
Yep. Well, we are not the judges, so.
And the
That
thing
is true.
about like them putting in like it just really bothers me them calling out the skateboard being small. If you don't want small builds, don't put small objects in the room.
Correct. Yep.
Like, or make a point of saying don't pick something small.
Or very much so. Be like we're really looking for something that is eye catching and a good size, or yeah.
Yeah.
So Jamie did kind of say that. He said like, build something impressive, but that's so
okay.
coded. You
Right.
know, like you could have said, build something large and impressive. Build something that will bigger than you've built before. You know.
Right.
Or be
right.
selective in what you're picking because you know. Yeah.
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 It's tough. It's tough.
It is. It is. And again, you gotta figure they tell you these things, and from your perspective, like was it something that you guys went through a couple times? Sometimes, like I know you said you've done like you would do an entrance a few times. Like, would they give the exact same instructions the exact same way each time or whatever? I mean, like there's probably some variation to that.
I don't think we ever got instructions more than once.
Oh no.
No,
Okay.
the challenge brief is read once.
Yeah. So like the judges reading, and they do read from the teleprompter.
Ah.
like,
Okay.
What
Yeah.
their lines are all there.
Ah, okay.
Except Will gets to ad lib a little.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah, they say what the challenge is once. So you're trying to comprehend that, and then you hear the challenge brief, and you're trying to comprehend that, and you're trying to marry them together. So it's an interesting challenge.
Huh. Interesting.
And your brain starts going like 1,000 miles a minute. The minute they start telling you
Oh,
what
yeah.
the challenge is, you're already like, okay, and then you're like, wait, it can only. Oh God, stop math. Oh God, wait, Lego math. Oh God, how
Can
many
we review
hours?
that? Can we rewind?
And actually, we don't even know how many hours until Will and Jamie and Amy tell us. They just tell us the
Yeah.
like specifics of the challenge.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like your brain is just on, you know,
Overdrive.
high energy. And like we said, we found out at Brick Rodeo, this cast filmed back to back to back to back to back
Yeah.
to back.
Mm.
Like they went through a lot, and now knowing that, you can kind of see it on their faces when you're watching these
Yeah.
episodes. They do look kind of
Absolutely.
tired.
We got to do what after we did what?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So speaking of challenges, we're on to the semifinals next week, which is Great Ball Contraption.
Love it.
interesting choice.
Where it's like we would have killed all of these.
All the other ones, yeah.
I know. I'm so bummed.
Yeah, I get that.
Krista, you've done GBCs before. You could have done this.
And the fact that you're doing them with a ping pong ball,
yes.
like
you're not doing little soccer balls.
Different. Yeah, like so much better, so much better. Like, I don't know. I think about like what Paul and Alita did on what was it Galaxy?
Lego Master.
Yeah. And like the things I'm like running through my head was like, okay, it's a bigger ball. We have to get from table to table. And in talking with the folks down in Virginia about great ball contraption, like you see these amazing, complicated great ball contraptions, and the way it was explained to me is just figure out how to get it from A to B.
Yep.
And then do all the beauty work on it after. So
right.
It's like, okay, so going in with that perspective of get it from A to B. Now, I would never do anything as crazy as what the people on Worlds did.
Right.
You see that with that crazy lily pad thing? Like
that was so cool.
God,
Gabby and Owen. It was beautiful.
That was insane. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But I think we could have done something really cool and really fun to get that ball from A to B.
Depending on what their theme is, this would have been the perfect steampunk challenge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, yeah. That would have made so much more sense.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like 100%.
You
guys got to talk to these editors. Be like, hey, you need to make some changes here.
I mean, I'm available if they want to, give me a call. I'd love to work.
Hello, Lego Masters.
Marcella is available. Krista's available. They got some ideas.
You know, they're cool.
They could be creative consultants.
Right.
Yep. It'll be. I've never done great ball contraption. I've looked at when we were at Brick Fair last year. Saw, the whole big round and round, and like they had these balls going up over, like you could go walk under it, and like they're going everywhere, all different manner of things. They had a Mindstorm. I think it was a Mindstorms that was going through and just collecting balls in a pit and then taking over to a monorail, dumping it in there, and the monorail took it where it needed to go. Wow. And like it was just insane the things that they come up with. But you're right. You come with your where it starts, and then you have your end point, and you're like, all right, now we just got to do everything in between. It doesn't matter at that point, as long as you can get them where they're going. So yeah.
My favorite is just randomly
that's
being
the criteria.
With a ball at Brick Rodeo. Walking down an aisle and
so
all of a
sudden. Well, and the question is, if your ball doesn't make it, are you automatically up for elimination?
Good question.
I think so.
Yeah.
You should be.
We'll find out what the criteria is. And I'm kind of curious because I vaguely remember in some of the previews of this season, there was a point where they're like, hey, they stop the clock, and then they're like, all right, now another team has to finish your build. They haven't done that at all yet. So I'm wondering if that's still coming in this one.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Especially if somebody had gone super ambitious and you had no idea how to finish it. Like,
you have to just make it up and just be like, okay.
Ben and Michael would go super ambitious.
Yes.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh, my butt.
It's always the butt.
It's always the butt.
Yep. Well, and so according to what you said, supposedly we're supposed to have a break. One of our members thinks that it's going to be the following weekend or the following Monday after that will be the final. So it'll be right before Brick Fair. But it might be the Monday right after Brick Fair, which in either case is going to be like...
out yet.
Yeah.
We'll let you know as soon as we know.
Yep. So next week we know for sure when it is, and we will definitely be doing another episode review, but it's going to be interesting to see when the final is going to happen. We're hoping that we'll do another Dave and Buster's. We've already been asked when it is and when we're coming back. And we still got to talk and figure out how we're going to do that, like do our play-by-play if we can and stuff. So we'll have to see. So
Well, we got time at Virginia to talk all that.
that's exactly true. That's right. And since Marcella's coming, yeah, we got plenty of time.
As long as it happens after Virginia.
Oh well, yeah, you're right. If as long as it happens after. So, well, the producers did tell you that, hey, it's supposed to be another break, so it should be. We'll find out.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out
I don't
as
know.
soon as we know.
Well, thanks so much for joining me again, as always. We actually have more stuff coming up because Lego Masters Junior comes out the August
19th?
19th? No.
19th, I think. 18th or 19th.
Yeah, 18th or 19th. So Lego Masters Junior even. So I mean, hey, we've got more Lego Masters stuff coming up. We'll be a little bit nicer to the kids.
No, we won't.
No, Dave.
I was gonna say maybe not the celebs.
Yeah.
They signed up
definitely
for it.
not.
They knew what they were in for.
Yep.
Now
Well,
we
that'll
won't.
be-
No, we'll be nice.
It'll be
Play well.
interesting though, because the celebs aren't necessarily going to be Lego people. The kids
Right.
will be. The interactions will be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a different dynamic. So we'll
Yeah.
see and we'll find out together.
Yeah, I can't wait to critique it.
Yep. Well, like I said, thanks so much for joining me. This has been episode 8 with Krista and Marcella. We'll be doing the same thing again next week, same time, I think. Maybe, not sure. We'll find out. So until next
We'll find
time, yeah. Tuesday will be more explosions and other Hoth stuff for me, and then next after that will be this will be the semifinals for Lego Masters. So until next time, as always, keep on building, and we'll see ya.